Hey, folks, welcome to a special edition of the First Call podcast, truncated because we've got Pick Six Mania at Saratoga on Wednesday. They'll start the racing week at Saratoga with a $107,000 carryover into the Pick Six. Forecast is for dry conditions. That's music to everyone's ears. First post for the Pick Six will be race number 4 at 2:52 Eastern. Jeff Siegel joins me as we handicap the sequence. Jeff, we start off with Maiden special weights going a mile. Coming out of that Wilson shoot, everybody talks about the inside. I looked at the stats over the years. Posts 1 through 6, 7 are all about the same. They win about 12 to 16%. It's that 8 and out that you don't want. We only have 7 in this field, so I wouldn't overemphasize the post. I found this to be a pretty difficult race where I had several that I thought were contenders.
Well, here's the morning line: 5-2, 3-1, 7-2, and 3-1. So there's 4 contenders based on the morning line that they all have a right to run well, and because they're so lightly raced, you don't really know who's going to step forward. But I can tell you that Helsia on the comeback here for Chad Brown, I thought she ran and was developing very nicely as a 2-year-old. Her last race was good. The numbers are rising. Now she returns off the layoff. Chad's 26% with that. First time Lasix for this daughter of Bernardini, and Pratt takes them out, and she's got enough tactical speed to be right in the fray. Maybe not in front, but right up there. And I've watched her works on XBTV, the videos, and she looks good in the morning. So I think if you're looking for the top of the 4, I'd put her on top. But the others have contention, have a right to run well. Lord I Wonder from the rail, cost containment, second time started, the other Chad Brown. And then Islander, who cost $1.5 million, a daughter of gun runner who ran okay. I mean, she had every chance in her debut and has a right to move forward in her second start. So tough race. I'm going to put Helsia on top, but somewhere on the ticket, I think you got to throw all 4 of them on there, no matter where you want to put them.
That's how I am. I'm going 4 deep, 1, 3, 5, 7, and just trying to survive that one. I've got 2 singles coming up, including race number 5, which is the Susie O'Kane. This is a single for me. I know this is a filly you liked a lot last year off her career debut win at Saratoga. Brock Nardini. I thought her last race was one of those classic bad fit situations. You put an aggressive early jockey like Paco Lopez or a filly who's coming back off a long layoff. You figure she's going to be too fresh. She was closer to the pace than usual. I think she'll relax. This is a filly who's won 2 times. This stakes race, basically, there's only a couple fillies in this race that have more than 1 career victory. I think second off the layoff with the drop in class and going to Flavian Pratt in here. I'm all in for Brock Nardini. I'm going to single here in race 5.
Well, I tried her on her comeback in Monmouth. I thought she was a layover, and she was bet like that she was the favorite. I thought she ran absolutely awful, but sometimes that's not a bad thing because it's too bad to believe. And the trainer is coming back in a stake, so he must have figured out something was not right. She's certainly eligible to bounce back over a course that we know she really likes. She was sensational breaking her maiden, so there's no way I'm playing a ticket without her. Even though as a straight play, I probably wouldn't gamble. Yet she is 8-1. Now, I might gamble at 8-1 if she's going to be that price. I also think you have to throw in the developing awesome check. Good tactical speed for her. Numbers are solid. I like the way that she won over the course here last time out last month. And you could even, if you have room for a saver, maybe throw in Summer World, who picked it up really nicely and looks like with a filly that an Arrogate filly. You get better, and you're only 3. You got to hunch that better is yet to come. So this is a spread for me, basically because I'm not really sure where Brock Nardini is. You got to trust the trainer on this one. But again, at that price, I'm definitely going to use your top pick, Brock Nardini.
Back in with State Breds too, double drop in class.
Yeah, true.
Let's go to the 6th race on the card. This is a 5.5 furlong turf sprint. This one is tough. There's 10 entered in the main body of the field with some also eligibles. I think the 13 Mangetsu is a first-time starter you want to watch for Kelsey Danner. If able to draw in, it'll be a tough post if able to draw in. But this is a race where contention, I think, runs pretty deep. I think there's some horses at prices. I want to get several on the ticket here. This is the race I'm going to use the most.
It's a spread for sure. Although I will tell you that number 5, Anna Skal, very visually impressive in her grass work. You got to go back to July 1st to find it. I mean, Christophe Clement is training her on the dirt for whatever reason. But the way she breathes that day, I think she's a quality filly, a daughter of American Pharoah. I don't know if she's blazingly quick or anything like that. This is going 5.5. I do think, though, that she will come running late. She is I don't even know if they're giving her one. Maybe they want to route her. Maybe they want to give her a sprint. So it's one of these, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to know about this filly, other than I tell you down the road she's going to be a nice filly. Kara's Dream Weaver ran at Aqueduct and ran well, closed a lot of ground. Wasn't a particularly strong race, but again, that first race could set them up for improvement in their second. You got to look at that. Young at Heart, I'm guessing, but she's been training at Fair Hill and bred to be quick, and it's got some good times. Got a gate work that I looked at.
Yeah.
Fastest at 35 at Fair Hill back in June. So being by the factor, she should like the grass. So, and then Mischief Lady. I mean, she breezed it very well, I thought, in the 2-year-old training sale, 10 and 5th that day. So she's got some speed, and you're right, it's a spread. But all
you take that
ones I mentioned, the ones you got to use.
Red Hot Mark Cassie with the 10 Disco Star, and Tyler Gaffleone was on fire last week with 10 wins, most of anybody at Saratoga. He's on that horse, Young at Heart, for Brittany Russell coming up from Fair Hills. To the 7th we go. 12-5 claimers going 6 furlongs. This is a bottom level claiming sprint here at Saratoga. Very blue collar. We talked about the hot streak that Tyler Gaffleone was on last week. I like the 10 in here. Ghostly Girl at 15-1, stepping right up off a win. I know it was non-winners of 3 lifetime, and that's your best friend is a slow horse. That non-winners of 3 condition. It's got to go against Open Company in here, but the rest of these horses are 0 for 13 at Saratoga in the field. This horse has run twice at the Spa, a win and a third. You get a hot rider, good form, and again, horses who have not shown anything over the track. I'm going to take 10 Ghostly Girl as my top pick, but I certainly want to use the 3, 5, and the 1 in here. Awesome Anne Marie as well. So I'll use 4 in this spot.
You realize there are 5 horses running in this race that were claimed in their last start.
Yeah.
And some of them are dropping off that claim. So I don't know whether they're dropping because the trainer doesn't like the horse or they're trying to steal a good portion of a $35,000 purse for a 12-5 claimer. But you mentioned Awesome Anne Marie for Dutrow, who used to be kind of like an automatic play with these kind of horses. But I don't know, he hasn't been all that hot lately.
Right.
Claimed for 20, runs back for 12-5, gets Gomez. Gomez doesn't write for anybody, but he does write for Dutrow. I mean, so there's a positive, maybe you can consider that a positive jockey switch. So I would put Awesome Anne Marie on top. I think you're going to get a stablemate, not a same owner stablemate, different trainer for some insurance there. I think it's the bottom horse, the 1A Mon Petit Chou, or however it's pronounced. But again, this is another race where the only way to really feel comfortable is use as many as you can afford, because with so many horses changing barns, I don't know which direction these horses are going to go.
Let's move to the 8th race. This is a Turf Mile allowance first level. I think this all runs through the 4 Revelita, who 5-2 in the morning line might go closer to 3-5. I think she's going to get well bet for Chad Brown. Class dropper in here, second off the layoff, gets a good pace set up, and there are a bunch of 3-year-old fillies taking on elders in here. I'd rather have the 4-year-old going a Grass Mile. Give me the 4 Revelita. Even at a short price, I'll single there.
Problem with me on Revelita, and again, I'm not saying you shouldn't use it. You have to use her. Twice she's been beaten as a favorite. She's a non-winner in this country. Numbers-wise, she's no faster than Beats, who in just her second start are in a similar number. Now, she got an easy lead that day, and I don't think that's going to happen necessarily. But I'm not sure it's so much that I like Beats as I'm not that confident, certainly not as confident as you are, Jeremy, with Revelita. But she's only one of 2. I would double the race here. I hate doubling pick 6s because your ticket doubles, But I don't know how good this mock trained filly is, the more than ready 3-year-old filly. She might be pretty good. She's also adding Lasix for the first time. I'm not sure I trust Revelita. So I'm going to find a ticket, part of my ticket to use number 2 as well. It's Beats and Revelita for me.
There's one thing in the world I hate. It's beets. I can't root for beets. I can't eat beets. They skeeve me out. So I'm against you on that one.
Fair enough. Okay.
Let's go to the 9th and final. This is the starter allowance. 5.5 furlong turf sprint. The favorites in here are the 2 and the 8. I think they've got some question marks and maybe some pitfalls to them. So I think this is a spot where we might be able to beat the favorites. I used a couple of different options in here. The 1 Borletti, the 9 Final Verdict, and the 4 Dr. Ozaran. So we're looking at horses that are 6-6 and 10-1. I'm going to try to get by with 1, 4, and 9. What say you in the finale?
Well, I think Hilarious Affair, based on consistently strong numbers, and now in Mike Maker's barn, who's been terrific lately. I think that this is a gelding that I love the style. He likes to sit in the second flight, and then pounce. But if he makes the lead, he's tough to beat that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And although he's only 3 for 26 and not one to trust, his numbers tell me that he really should have won some of these races, and maybe some bad luck cost him. He's running fast enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also throw in, I don't know if this is a good thing or again, this is one of my 1999 plays. Rudy Rodriguez off the claim. That's not been that great in the last, I don't know, decade. But this horse comes off a really good win off a long layoff, and was claimed by Rudy, who protects him now in the starter optional claimer. He beat nothing when he won, but he did it in fast time with a good number, and maybe he's a new horse. Pratt rides him back. That's always a positive. So I would include Java Buzz in my ticket with Hilarious Affair. And again, how deep do you want to go here? Because this is a grass grab bag, and nothing would surprise me.
We'll see how it all shakes out. $107,000 carryover into the pick six at Saratoga. Hopefully our thoughts get you on the winning track. Be sure to check the scratches and changes. We're recording this 24 hours in advance. So check out the latest conditions, the scratches, changes, and get set. And be sure to send it in with 107K and Xpressbet when you play the carryover pick six Wednesday from Saratoga.